In the headlines, 2.8% economic growth realized in the last financial year. A strengthened Eastern Caribbean Central Bank as changes have been approved to the Banking Act, and police in search of one man following a shooting incident in Lubia on Thursday. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this. Watch out, summer. Mapping is doing it big from 17th July to 31st August with free installation and cash prizes. Here's the drill. New customers sign up for any of our services and pay no installation plus a chance to win cash prizes every week. Existing subscribers pay off your outstanding balance and you too will qualify to win. Sign up, pay up, and win, 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 because life is better with Mapping. Thank you for staying with us. Budget news takes precedence as Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Roosevelt Skerrit said the economy of Dominica recorded 2.8% economic growth for the 2016-2017 financial year. He delivered the government's budget statement in Parliament on Thursday under the theme, Realizing a Modern, Prosperous Dominica. According to Skerrit, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is projecting 3.1% economic growth for the 2017-2018 financial year. The bank encourages economic growth of at least 5%. Government is prepared to spend more than $854 million, $173 million more than 2016-2017 financial year. Capital expenditure amounts to over $349 million, while recurrent expenditure amounts to over $504 million. The Prime Minister said moving forward, government expects to achieve further economic growth through a people-centered approach.
As we transform our economy, we need to imagine a different Dominica, where the state plays a different role. The task of taking us to the next level of modernity and prosperity is too complex and comprehensive for any state to do on its own. Henceforth, the state must transform itself so that it is more of a facilitator, a partner, an innovator, and a regulator. Madam Speaker, the ideology on this side of the House is a movement of citizen-centered development. In the new, modern, prosperous Dominica, the main doers will be our people.
He noted government will implement a more consultative style of governance. Skerrit also announced government will seek to establish a National Fiscal Policy Panel, or NFPP, to provide the society as a whole with independent economic advice on matters relating to tax and spending policy. It is expected to be made up of 3 independent experts with outstanding international reputations. Meantime, Channel 5 News sought to hear from those who attended the presentation of the 2017-2018 national budget.
The budget presentation by the Honorable Prime Minister was a very sterling one that to my mind addresses every sector of the Dominican society. We will see coming out of this budget presentation that the youth, the manufacturers, the people in tourism, education sector is being addressed in a very progressive, aggressive manner, one that should resound or result in true benefits for the Dominican people.
I think it shows that there is brilliance within this DLP administration, that the government is seeking to really expand on its role, not just in terms of developing the programs itself, but being a facilitator, taking on a different role. And when we consider how comprehensive this budget is, it's really promising, and Dominicans can look forward to a very successful year. In the Roseau South, of course, we're looking forward to some much-needed developments that were mentioned in the Prime Minister's address. So we're looking forward to working to see this budget become a reality over the next 12 months.
The budget is very timely. It represents coherence and consistency in government policies, because at this juncture in our development, you have seen the government being able to be more inclusive in its development effort. You see the government has been able to share the burden of development, and that can only come from empowering people. what the government has been doing over the previous years.
It opens opportunities even more so for the private sector, people in the private sector, presents tremendous challenges, and I think it's an opportunity to see this country really move forward. I'm particularly delighted with the ROSO improvement program, and not only for government to take care of the basic infrastructure, but to do things that would encourage the people in the private sector to take care of their homes and to have some pride in their own personal properties.
Of course, I'm more than satisfied with the increase in the budget to health, especially in the recurrent budget where we heard that an additional $5 million is being put aside for new pharmaceuticals, especially to some of those other chronic non-communicable diseases like cancer patients, etc. And in addition, another $1 million is going to be given subvention to solid waste to assist us, of course, in our management. We know that we have had some serious issues in the past with managing our solid waste. So I think it's quite commendable. And of course, not to mention the number of new capital projects within the Ministry of Health, new health centers to be built, the new Marigot Hospital carried in this fiscal year, and of course, the continuation of the new National Hospital. So when you look at the very happy Minister of Health.
This budget is one that provides tremendous opportunities for development, economic development and social development. And you would have heard that there has been an increased allocation to the Ministry of Commerce, and it is with the idea of spreading the culture of entrepreneurship, setting the foundation, enabling entrepreneurship, which is a great foundation for economic development, for sustainable livelihoods, and for increasing exports of goods and services to generate foreign exchange.
This budget, that I've said before, just a while ago, represents some major elements of the Labour Party's vision to making Dominica a modern country, a modern society. And one of the most effective ways to do that is to concentrate on its people, and to ensure, first of all, that its people is cared for by way of constructing a major hospital. The other important issue has to do, you have a number of young people who have challenges. And therefore, we have to ensure that we cater for all in our mix, especially those who are vulnerable.
We recognize that there are over $40 million for 3 key economic indicators of this country, and that is growth indicators, and that is tourism with the $15 million of last year, agriculture with $10 million of last year, and manufacturing now with an additional $15 million. We should feel excited about this budget because there is something in the budget for every sector of this country. Whatever your skills are, whatever your discipline are, there is something in it for you.
Channel 5 News also sought feedback from members of the opposition United Workers' Party. However, our team was told that members were off to a meeting to prepare the response for Friday's sitting and declined to comment on camera. In other top stories, the highest decision-making body of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank has approved the changes to the Banking Act legislation that strengthened the financial institution. Dominica passed the legislation in 2015, joining other OECS jurisdictions. It is aimed at creating a single banking space as well as giving the ECCB greater powers to supervise financial institutions across the sub-region. The Council's outgoing chairman and Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, said the legislative framework started prior to the recently concluded 88th meeting of the Council in Dominica.
At its 86th meeting held on the 21st of October 2016, the Monetary Council approved the establishment of a ministerial subcommittee of the Council, chaired by Council member for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to lead discussions with stakeholders on the proposed amendments to the Act and to facilitate the process through its enactment. To this end, a consultative and legislative drafting workshop was held on the 11th of April 2017 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. ECCU, Attorney Generals, Parliamentary Council, Financial Secretaries, and other representatives of the Ministries of Finance, representatives from the ECCU's Bankers Association, local banks associations, and representatives of the ECCB attended the workshop. The team discussed the policy issues related to the amendments, the concerns of the banking industry, and reached consensus on the draft amendments. I may add here that the amendments do not change the substance of the Act, but would have provided some clarification on various issues. The Monetary Council approved the amendments to the Banking Act 2015 and agreed to urge member governments to secure the passage of the amendments to the Banking Act 2015 by December 31st, 2017.
He added that legislative reform work is also aimed at helping the bank tackle money laundering and terrorism financing.
At its 85th meeting, held on the 22nd of July 2016, Council took the decision to recommend to member governments that the legal responsibility for anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism, AML-CFT, supervision and regulation of financial institutions licensed under the Banking Act, be transferred to the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The Monetary Council therefore approved the proposed areas of amendment to the anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism legislation, AML-CFT legislation, in Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Lucia, to transfer the regulatory and supervisory authority of AML-CFT for institutions licensed under the Banking Act to the ECCB. And emphasize here, referring to institutions licensed under the Banking Act, they will be transferred to the ECCB to cover AML's CFT supervision. St. Vincent and the Grenadines was not included because they have already made the necessary changes to the law.
On to police news. One man is currently nursing gunshot wounds to both legs following a shooting incident in Loubier on Thursday morning. Here is Police Inspector Pelham John Baptist with the details.
It was reported to the police that about 8 a.m. on Thursday, the 27th of July 2017, 20-year-old Ole Dazel Etienne sustained gunshot wounds to both his legs while in the vicinity of the Loubier Public Convenience. Etienne was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he received medical attention and was admitted. One adult male is being sought by the police in relation to this shooting incident.
Anyone with information which can assist the police in their investigations can call the Criminal Investigations Department at 266-5164, 266-5165, and 266-5119. You can also call Crime Stoppers Dominica at 1-800-8477. Coming up, more children get financial assistance ahead of the new school year. That and more when we return. Watch out, summer. Mapping is doing it big from 17th July to 31st August with free installation and cash prizes. Here's the drill. New customers sign up for any of our services and pay no installation, plus a chance to win cash prizes every week. Existing subscribers pay off your outstanding balance and you too will qualify to win. Sign up, pay up, and win, 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 because life is better with Mapping. Welcome back. Emancipation celebrations are set to get underway on Friday, 28th July. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence says the first of its kind Chante Dominique or Sing Dominica concert, which will open the series of celebrations, is scheduled for the Arawak House of Culture.
This year we begin with a very significant event, the first ever Sing Dominica, which is a sensational celebration of song and the opening of emancipation. And the show will feature some of our leading choirs and individual singers. The following day, on Saturday, July the 29th, the emancipation program will continue at an event in Pebouche called Belle Night, tribute to Bordeaux.
Emancipation celebrations are centered around 1st August, as on that date in the 1830s, there was the declaration for the abolition of enslaved Africans. The celebrations are geared towards building greater awareness about the significance of the abolition of slavery and the impact that slavery and emancipation have had on modern-day society.
On Tuesday, the 1st of August, the People's Park will come alive with cultural rhythms and vibrations when some of our best artists will perform in an emancipation showcase starting at 5:30 in the afternoon. On Thursday, August the 3rd, there will be a Sensei Forum at the UE Open Campus Auditorium to discuss various aspects of our beautiful Sensei costume. The artistry, the skill, the types of Sensei, the presentation and display, the history and heritage, and the marketability, among other aspects.
The highlight of Emancipation celebrations will be the Golden Drum Awards scheduled for Saturday, 5th August. In educational matters, 4 more students have benefited from DOMLEC's scholarship program. The DOMLEC scholarship is awarded to children who wrote the GSAT exams but were not successful in obtaining a government scholarship or bursary. The scholarship recovers the cost of books, stationery, transportation, allowance, and payment for CXC fees.
This program has been invaluable because it has impacted the lives of so many persons throughout the island over the past 31 years of its existence. Over the past 5 years, the company has invested approximately $35,000 annually under the scholarship program and will continue to make these types of investments since the company understands its role in pertaining to the corporate social responsibility. Students, you have done well, and we want to wish you every success as you journey through your 5 years of secondary education. Note that while DOMLEC is making a financial investment in you, it is therefore important that you will have and invest time in your studies to gain success and reap future benefits.
The DOMLEC scholarship recipients were Abigail Sinclair, who will attend the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School in September, Stephanie Joachim, who will attend the Dominica Grammar School, Jonathan George, who will attend the Goodwill Secondary, and Kyle Charles, who will be a student of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School in the new academic year. This brings the total number of DOMLEC scholarship holders to 21. And ending on a celebratory note, the northern community of Vekas expects to put its togetherness on display as it prepares to hold its community-based reunion under the umbrella of the Reunion 2018 activities. Chairman of the Vekas Village Council, Yolan John Jules, addressed the media launch for the 2018 Itasi reunion on Sunday. Itasi is the Kalinago name for the community, while Vekas, or Old House, is of French origin. The official banner was also unveiled, and Itasi reunion is expected to run from July 27 to August 7, 2018. It is expected to be held under the theme, With Unity, Rebuilding Itasi.
We have a very powerful group in Vekas that we call COI, abbreviation for Children of Itasi. That group have been in existence for quite a long time. We have worked alongside with the village council throughout all those years, and I can tell you that the COI group is a very successful group.
A number of prominent people in various fields have their origin in Vekas, including former President Crispin Sorrento, former Chief Minister and the country's first Premier Edward Oliver LeBlanc, as well as Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. That's news. Your sports highlights next. Sports begins with basketball. There were wins for Massey United Insurance Sharks and E.H. Charles crossover in action from the 2017 Flow DABA League on Wednesday. In Game 1, Sharks defeated 767 Sports Young Ballers 87-53 in the Division 1. Shambali Blanc and Jason Samuel contributed 21 each, with 20 from Omari Williams. In a losing effort, 767 Sports Delton Eugene posted 22 points and Corinne Leonard 13. Crossover dominated Game 2 of the league, scoring 64 against Flo X-Men's 59. Crossovers Brandon Laza and McCrae Edwards posted 14 each, while Kelsey Guy and Sergei Joseph supported with 13 points apiece. X-Men's Simon Joseph came in with 16 points, while Ronald Abraham and Tilon Birmingham chipped in with 14 points apiece. Meantime, the league continues on Friday with 4 matches. At 7, we will see the 767 Sports Club up against SMAs in the under-17s, while at 9, Detroit Blazers 2 and 767 Sports Club will go head-to-head in the Division 1. Both games are carded for the Massac Hardcourt. At Portsmouth, Massey United Insurance Sharks will do battle with Paybush Snipers at 7. Then at 9, Intellico Security Service Raiders will come up against Detroit Blazers in the Premier League. Regionally, Dominica celebrated yet another win in the Windward Island School Games in St. Vincent recently. Playing against their sister country, Dominica defeated St. Lucia in the male volleyball 3-1. Final scores on that encounter were 20-25, 25-20, 25-20, and 26-24. Meantime, in a football match, Dominica and St. Lucia had to settle for shared points as the teams played to a 1-1 draw at the end of the 90 minutes. Passing on to football, where Dublin FC started off on a good note in the DFA's Under-17 League as action continued on Wednesday with 2 matches.
They hammered Collio Football Club 7-1 at the Benjamin Park. Savio Anselm and Sahil Humphreys both scored twice for Dubla, with 1 each coming from Joshua Dumas and Denzel Panfe. Dubla's other goal came via an own goal. Josiah John Baptist got the solitary goal for Collio. In the other match of the day, New Wave Point Michelle and Esmat Tarish United played to a 2-2 draw at the Stock Farm Complex. Raheem Reynolds and Jante Kazimi scored for Point Michelle, while Eustace Phillip and Clemson Isaac did the scoring for Tarish. The league continues on Friday. Club Loubier will come up against New Wave Point Michelle at the Stock Farm Complex at 2 p.m. while at the Castlebrooks playing field, Southeast will battle Collio Football Club at 3 p.m. And on Saturday, Harlem United will clash with Esma Tarish United at the Stock Farm Complex at 2 p.m. while at 3 p.m. it will be East Central versus Dubla Football Club at the Benjamin Park.
Next up, national player and table tennis coach Edgar Berridge believes the future of the sport lies with the youth. He says a recently ended regional tournament was an eye-opener for him and the athletes who participated.
It will definitely be the young kids, these under-11s and under-13. These are the kids actually we want to see come to the fore to really get table tennis going. Just coming out from Cuba, I remember actually speaking to most of the members of the different table tennis organization. I remember speaking to them at a meeting in Cuba, and they were saying it would be very important that we work with these kids. We send them to these tournaments, like for instance this tournament that's coming up in Jamaica, the Caribbean Mini Cadets. What they were saying to me, these are the kids that we want to see get involved in table tennis because they are the future in table tennis.
Berridge says Dominica's performance in Cuba was the best he has seen so far.
In Cuba, I wasn't disappointed. That's Dominica's best performance in a Caribbean championship. I just felt that I could take a medal in that championship. I went for it, and it could not have been done without the support of my team because they were with me. It was not an Edgar Berridge thing. It was a whole team come together, and I had full support of them. They believed in me, and they felt that I could have done it. I could have won it. I know I could have won the Masters full out. But I settled for the 4th place. Being a medalist, the first male for Dominican Caribbean Championship is an honor. For me, it's an honor for my country. It shows that, it tells the outside world that, hey, Dominica is coming, and I'm happy for myself and for my country.
On the international cricket scene, England finished the first day of the test against South Africa on 171 runs, having lost 4 wickets on Thursday. Alistair Cook contributed 82, Joe Root 29, and Tom Wesley 25. Vernon Philander picked up 2 for 17 for South Africa. In related sports, India's bowlers backed up the fine work of their batsmen when they reduced Sri Lanka to 154 for 5 to leave the home side trailing by 466 runs on Thursday. Resuming on 399 for 3, India added 201 to finish on 600 all out after 133.1 overs. C. Pujara scored 153, A. Rahane 57, and H. Pandya 50. Nuwan Pradeep picked up 3 more wickets on the second day to finish with 6 for 132. At the innings break, Sri Lanka was 154 for 5 after 44 overs. Utaranga was run out on 64 runs, while Angelo Matthews was undefeated on 54. Finally, in sports, we can tell you that Otis Stevens of St. Kitts Police Department won the first ever Bry Park Memorial 10K recently, with Keva Peer being the first female finisher. And in Domino, Mount Zion beat Roadside 603 to 463 in the Maro constituency competition. That's all the sports for now. Join us next time. We now join our friends at the Met Office for the weather forecast.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I will be your presenter for this evening, Farah Rock Korea. Let's go straight into some early infrared satellite imagery. Today, weekend stable conditions as a result of tropical wave affected weather conditions across Dominica and the rest of the islands of the Eastern Caribbean. Earlier visible satellite imagery showed low-level clouds traversed across Dominica and the rest of the islands of the Eastern Caribbean. Hence, the occasional cloudy skies we experienced this afternoon. Earlier radar imagery showed some isolated showers to the northeast of Dominica. The weather tonight is expected to be partly cloudy and hazy with a few scattered showers, and tomorrow an improvement is expected. Fairly partly cloudy skies with only a few brief showers is expected, with maximum temperatures expected to peak up to 32 degrees Celsius. Let's move on now to the marine forecast. Once more, sea conditions will be moderate and will peak up to 1.5 meters or up to 5 feet. Let's take a look at the weather for the weekend. Well, as you can see, beautiful weather expected for Friday and Saturday. By tomorrow, high pressure system will reestablish itself. Therefore, fair to partly cloudy skies with a few brief showers and hazy conditions is expected for Friday and Saturday. And by Sunday, an increasing cloudiness is expected. Mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers is forecasted for that day. Let's take a look now at the weather for the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow. Thunderstorm activity expected in the extreme northern portion of the islands, whereas the rest of the islands can expect fairly partly cloudy skies with a few brief showers and also some hazy conditions as well. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies expected for New York and Beijing. Thunderstorm activity expected for Miami and Caracas, and overcast skies expected across the city of London. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:46 a.m. and will set at 6:37 p.m. Of course, we are still in the hurricane season. Keep updated with your weather information. You could always visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow evening for your next radio broadcast. Thank you for viewing.
To end the news, the headlines again. 2.8% economic growth realized in the last financial year. A strengthened Eastern Caribbean Central Bank as changes have been approved to the Banking Act, and police in search of one man following a shooting incident in Lubia on Thursday. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our friends around the world, thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.